Okay, I just finished some videos right before this where I did a little rant about the post-trib believers that think that we have to go through that. So, not going back there, but really strong, I feel very strong about that because I just have so many emails of people listening to people. You knew this was going to happen. You knew right here at the end, you knew there was going to be everything thrown at you, at me, at us. Okay? It's gonna keep it that way. Remember when I said the enemy knows you so well. He's watched you. You've been little bitty. He's watched you. He knows every move. He knows all your likes, your dislikes. He knows every button. He knows everybody that rubs you wrong. He knows everybody you love, everybody that you just could probably go the rest of your life maybe without seeing. Okay, he's going to put those kind of people in your path. Okay, whenever he has the chance. He's going to tickle your ears with whatever words he can get to you. That's what he's going to do. That's what he's always done. He's going to continue to do that. But now he's really going to do it. Because he wants you not to be in that strong footing. That cement footing that you have to stand in. He's going to we already talked about this, the attacks that are going to come. And if you have no open doors, okay, which is great, oh my gosh, yay. So we're trying so hard to do, but he's going to do it through your family members or your children or whoever, is not strong like you are. He's going to try to get to you in whatever way he can, through other open doors, through just you going on your way to work in the morning and you're stopping by your favorite gas station, mini mart, to go in and get a cup of coffee. I'm telling you, you're going to see the person that you least want to see, the one that brings back a flood of, I don't want to go there memories, our thoughts, or whatever. You're going to see them, okay? It's just the way it is. You're going to come across your friends, your Christian friends, okay, that are the church and not the bride. I'm talking the sleeping church, the ones that are not waiting, that just, think they're going to walk. The ones that that think you've just gone over the deep end in your JesusFreakiness thing. Okay. You have to. You have to stand up, okay? You have to. And I know it's hard. It's hard because when they come after you and they say things. But you have to know what that is. You have to put your armor on every day. Every day you have to put your armor on. Anything to weaken you, to make you start thinking, to make you, go to the place you don't want to go to. It's going to put in front of you. It's going to happen. The non-bride, I will put it that way, that we live with, if couples, you have a spouse that's a non-believer or a lukewarm or a, sleeping church member, okay, it's almost, I will tell you this, when I say across the board, I mean across the board. They're making you choose. They've let you have your, Jesus time now. And they dealt with it for a while, and then they let it go. But now they're making you choose between them or God. That's the way they're doing. They're making you make a choice because they're done with it. They're putting their foot down now because they're just over this whole thing. So it's me or it's God. So I'm just not going to have it anymore. That's what they're doing. But can I tell you, I'm so proud of everybody. Not that I want anybody to get divorced. Who would want that? Who would want that? I'm not saying this. I'm not saying happy to break up any families or anything. But you have to know what's behind this. You have to call their bluff. Okay? You have to call their bluff. You have to know who's behind that. okay? And call their bluff. Say, that's what you need to do. Because it's the spirit, you know, it's the counterfeit spirits. Where God has, you know, his fruit of the spirits, the enemy has his counterfeits to those. Well, now, there goes to show you what kind of time we're in, is because everybody who is tolerant of your God time, or your relationship with, you know, Jesus, or your, again, JesusFreakiness, as I call it, now all of a sudden their button is pushed in or can't come back out. You know, they have no patience for you now, because and they're giving you an ultimatum. Yeah, you either back away or I leave. And can I tell you, a lot of you are saying, well, if that's what you gotta do, I'm sorry, but bye. You're choosing God over them. I can't tell you. If you only knew the emails, only knew. So if you're out there and you think you're the only one, oh, no, 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 no. When I say across the board, I mean across the board. It's unbelievable. You know, I don't know. Good thing I'm not married, because, oh, sure, I'd totally be divorced. If I was married to a non-believer or a sleeping church member, I probably would be, because I can't stop this. I cannot stop this. And you can't either. And that's the thing. It's different. We're at a different level now. All of us. Boom, 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 boom. Every day. I mean, I wake up. First thought. I open my eyes. First thought. I'm thinking of something he's told me in my sleep, because seems like I'm studying in my sleep. Seems like I'm talking to him in my sleep. I'm learning in my sleep. So before I go to bed, when I wake up, bam, bam, I can't get rid of it. Never been like that, like I am now. Never. It's a spirit totally upon all of us. Totally upon all of us. So, and it's keeping all of us from the world. It's keeping all of us from doing our stuff in the world. And it's keeping a lot of us from having dinner on the table at 5 o'clock. I know that. I know that. But they can't understand. They can't understand. Oh my gosh. It's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of the same stories. Same stories. So know this. You're not the exception. You're the rule. And I keep saying this over and over and over. You're not the exception. You're the rule. You're not by yourself in this. It's not you. It's not you. You know, we're all in this together. So you have to know that, and you have to, you know, talk to somebody about it, and that's why it's so important that everybody stays tight, and even just because you don't know them, just because you don't know somebody, that another Christian, oh my gosh, everybody's looking for somebody to talk to about this, you know, to know that you're not alone, and I'm telling you, you're not alone. So, but you got to stand up to this, okay? You have to. I'm not saying get divorced. Oh no, I'm not saying that. I mean, if you have to, you have to. If you have to, you have to. But there's such there's a calm on us. There's a peace, a spirit of peace upon us, and it's like, well, you know, where before you'd panic if somebody gave you that ultimatum, said, well, okay, I'm gonna have to do what I got to do. Now all of a sudden it's like, I don't care. If you're gonna leave, leave. That's okay. You know, he'll make a way for me. So what's happening. Not just to 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6. I mean, keep going. Keep going. There's no patience now. So, you know, call their bluff. You gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, you know, the Lord will tell you, but He'll take care of us. He will. He'll take care of us. He'll take care of you. Because you're the enemy gonna keep trying. That's what this is all trick of his. This is all trick of his. Okay? You have to know that. And it's a shame. It's a shame that our loved ones don't realize that. And they don't. And their tempers now are just, I mean, although I have to sell my daughter, oh, I mean, you should see what I just so thankful. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Thank you for this hand that I see him have on her. Boy. It's been wonderful. I will tell you that. It's been absolutely wonderful. But you know, I walk, even some days I think the house is just going to fall down. I won't go there. I won't worry about it. I won't. Because I know who's in charge. And remember what I said? When you react in the way the enemy wants you to react, you go down the enemy's road. And down that road is all his plans. Is everybody, he has that road lined with everybody who he wants it lined with. Okay? To cause more damage, more friction, more chaos, more everything that will just keep you, pulling you away from the Lord. So when somebody's trying to get you to respond and react in that flesh way, stop, don't do it. It'll make him mad. Boy, will it make him mad, but don't. You wait. You respond to it in the spirit, and you give it to him. And you give him time to put his hand in there and to move it, okay? Because see what happens is when the enemy has us react, then we start going down the enemy's path that he's got lined, and we're making a mess of things. And then Jesus is going to come in there and move it. It's going to be his way. It's always going to be his way. But now he's got a mess, instead of having a clean path and a clean road, that he can just go right in there and do what he's got to do. Now you're junk in there, okay? Junk. It's going to take a little longer. Going to have to make some strategic moves instead of having that clean sweep. Think about that and think who's making you react and why. Why do they want you to react? Why? Why does it have to be in that way? Stop and think about these things. Use your tools. Use your tools. Because now we really need our tools. We really do. Really do. Veil's getting thinner, everything. I can say what I think. I can say, what I've been taught and things I know that I can't, I wish I could share them, but I can't. But it doesn't matter what time we're in, because regardless of what's coming our way, we're going to be gone. Do you understand the role of the bride? Do you understand what the bride does? I'm downstairs. I don't have my Bible down here, because this time I would totally go to Scripture. The bride's role is huge. We do a lot. We do a lot. We receive a lot of rewards. The Bible talks about the bride all through the Bible. It talks about our rewards, talks about our beauty, talks about our treasures, our gifts, how much the Lord loves us, how proud he is of us. But he uses us. Everything we've been through is not for naught. We're going to use it. But he uses us through the tribulation to help those who didn't get to go. He sends us back. We're his bride. I mean, we are his representatives. We are his witnesses. We are everything. We go back and we help save souls that are here. Okay, we bring more to him. So we got to go and be ready for that. He's not, so if you think we're appointed to wrath, okay, all right, okay, but then you don't think you're a bride, because I don't know any bride. I don't know any groom who would make his bride do that. Okay, I don't know any groom who would make their bride go through what many people think that the bride will go through. I don't think people really know the role of the bride, except that she gets to go to heaven. I don't think they really know. If you really truly knew your worth as a bride and your role in the kingdom of heaven, you would know why this time is so special. You would know why you're feeling what you're feeling now. Why your spirit is just out of control. The bride is very special. I mean, we do a lot. I will tell you this. We do a lot through the tribulation. He's going to send back continually. Even after our harvest time, our 40-day harvest, where we come and help the ones that, were hard-headed in the Sorry Botcha Club. But through the tribulation, he's going to continue to send back to help, in whatever way. Whatever way, he's going to do that. All right. Again, I'm going to repeat this. There's a lot of different people on YouTube that I believe are absolutely children of the Lord, absolutely. But they started talking about them being a witness, and some of them, I guess, saw that they were witnessing, or saw that their place as a witness, and they confused themselves with one of the two witnesses and thought that they were one of those witnesses, because they just didn't know, and then they thought that they were one of the 144,000 witnesses, Jewish witnesses. And so when that happened, oh man, don't you remember when that happened all through YouTube? I mean, people were just going crazy. And then people stopped listening to them and saying all kinds of bad things. And I won't go there on that, because that's just not a right thing to do. It's not a right thing to do. I really believe, I don't know, because I've not talked to any of them, so I can't really speak for them, but I can think that maybe that's what they saw, or what they felt, or what they assumed their witness role would be, because a lot of people didn't know two groups. And why wouldn't he do that? Think about that again, common sense. He's never dealt, with the Jews and the Gentiles together. Okay? Old Testament Jews, New Testament Gentiles. I mean, it's basically, even though the New Testament is all, Jews, the portrayal of everybody Jewish, but it was representing the Gentile church, right? And we're in the church age now. We're in the time of grace, the grace of Jesus. But he's always really dealt, with each remnant separately. Okay? Again, that's why I have a firm foundational belief in my spirit that the bride, is going to be gone before he turns back to Israel, and the tribulation is absolutely directed to Israel, is it not? He's been dealing with us for all this time now, and he's going to remove us, okay, so he can focus on Israel, full focus, full attention on Israel. The ones that are left, the Gentiles that are left, the non-believers, they're just kind of in the thing, but his main goal, his eyes are on Israel, okay. Don't get me wrong, of course he knows the non-believers, and the Gentile part is still there, but his main directive is focus is to Israel. So, again, patterns. There's patterns. But so that would make complete sense. Him having his own witness, which is his bride, his church, to minister to the non-Jewish group, left behind. That would go totally into a pattern of the Lord. So the 144,000 Jewish remnant will be for the Jews. Again, I've said this over and over, and forgive me if you've heard it a zillion times, but I will say this again. A Jew will never hear a teaching of their Messiah by a Gentile. Never. If you have Jewish friends, ask them. If you don't know anybody Jewish, well, read about it. Read every time. There's a gazillion stories are references you can go to where they never one time, would listen to a Gentile. So, and if they did, trust me, that was by the grace of God. Okay, totally by the grace of God. But that the Jewish, the Israelites now, they've been waiting thousands of years. Okay, they know the time is right. Every Passover they set Elijah's plate. Plate at their table. But they've been waiting. And the church has already been in their face. The Christians have already been, well, I'm telling you this, and this is what's going to happen, and whatever. And they're already so tired of us, it's not even funny. Okay, so they'll be happy when we're gone. But if anybody thinks that they're going to have an ear to us, to what we have to say about their Messiah, that they've been waiting for, prayed for every day for thousands of years, never going to happen. That's why the Lord has his special remnant. I told you, there's only one left, one true bloodline. Okay, it says 144,000. And they will do what they have to do during the tribulation. And the Lord will send out his bride and his church as his witness for the Gentiles. Okay, for the non-Jewish left behind. All right, again, patterns. Common sense tells you that. But that's what it was. And so then a lot of people, really got beat up on by that, because they just weren't there yet, in their understanding of how that was going to work. So don't beat up on anybody for that. They just didn't know. And if they do understand that, and they're still standing in that they're one of the two witnesses, well, I don't even know what to say about that. I don't know what to say about that. They're just not, I don't know what to say about that. But, and I know a lot of people think it's Moses. But it's Enoch and Elijah. God specifically, again, they represent the bride taken. See, they did not experience death. Okay, they were led into heaven, well, because they didn't die. You know what I mean? They didn't die. So there was no death on them. So when God took them, they were only two that hadn't died. So they didn't go down. They weren't there for Jesus to release from Sheol, when he was in the tomb for 3 days. God, they didn't experience that death. So their spirit was alive, and so they were righteous. God found no fault in them. Remember? He found no fault in them. So he took them just right up there with him. He can do that. He can do anything he wants. So now the other ones couldn't be released and couldn't go because they experienced death. Okay? And so Jesus had the keys to death, right? Because he conquered death. Because he was resurrected. He came back from the death. He came back from the dead. So he had the keys to death. So he went down and opened the door to Sheol, where all of the ancients of old who died before him were waiting. They were waiting. It wasn't a hell side. It wasn't hellish, It was just a place that God had put them to wait. I'm sure it was just as comfortable and whatever, whatever God wanted them to have there. But Jesus had the keys, and so he could unlock death now, and he could raise them up, and then the open door to heaven. Enoch and Elijah, they didn't experience death, so that didn't, and they were righteous in God's eyes. So, God took them. But see, the bride, we are, Enoch and Elijah was a foreshadowing of the bride, of things to come, of the bride. So it's, you guys, you have to use your common sense on things. You really do. You have to stop thinking about the worst. I will tell you this. I think about this all the time. I remember Jesus told me one time, don't write the words. Don't write the words before the story's told. Don't write the story before the words are told, or don't write the words before the story's told. What he meant was, you know how we start thinking about something and we just know how it's going to play out in our head? We already got the whole conversation, or we got the words. We got, I don't care how, if it's tomorrow, if it's tonight, if it's a week ahead, 2 weeks ahead, or if it's something we just know is going to happen from whatever, Oh, well, I just know this is going to happen. Oh, no, that's just, I'll tell you what's going to happen from this. You know how we do that? Okay, well, we think about that, and we go through all kinds of scenarios in our head, and we start putting the story together, right? We start putting the story kind of to prepare ourselves almost. I don't know, is that to say, oh, yes, I knew that was going to happen. I knew it. He said, don't write the words before the story's told. So don't write the words before the story's told. Good? Good. So you don't know how it's going to turn out, and don't write them. Let him write them. I mean, he's already written them. But you see, we run ahead of him. But I love that. I thought that was so good, because we all do that. We start thinking. I do that. Start thinking in my head, and I got a whole story written of this. What I think is how this is gonna play out, and that could be on anything. I mean, anything. Don't write the words before the story's told. Don't tell the story. Or don't tell the story before the words are written. Don't tell the story before the words are written. I mean, it's the same thing. You see that? That's what he said. I love that. So, we just have to watch. You have to watch everything, okay? You have to read everything. Don't think what you're going to find is going to be on your local news, because it's not. It's not. Okay? I will tell you this. I don't ever watch CNN. Never, 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 never. I know who owns it. I know what they're going to say. There's nothing there that I want. There's nothing there that's ever going to teach me anything. Fox is about the closest to get any true news that you're going to get, and then you don't even get it all then. Okay? But you have to learn what you have to read and what sources you have to go to read them. And you have to know which ones are the truth and which ones aren't. But you have to be aware of what's going on at all times around the world. Those are markers. Those are markers. And to the events. And you never know the event we're waiting for, right? You have to have your eyes open. And if you're not, you can't stand strong on your footing. Okay? Because you don't have eyes to see where we're at. You can't have that discernment. Okay? And then when you don't have that discernment, you got open ears to tickling by others. Okay? Because you're wanting to hear something. You're wanting to know something. And you're not paying attention to what's going on in the world and having discernment of what it means. So you're going to listen to, that person, that stranger at the door, that person that comes in your house, or that relative, or that minister, or whoever. You understand? And he believes different than you. He thinks different than you. But since you can't figure it out, you're gonna maybe what he says sounds pretty good. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. You gotta find your footing. You gotta stand strong in it. You gotta stand strong in it. We don't understand everything. Trust me, I'm far from knowing it all. Okay? I've been watching for a long time. I've been watching for a very long time. I get lots of wonderful videos people send me to watch. If I ever heard of this person or that person, and you'd be surprised how many years and the things I've read. Like I said, oh my gosh, the whole Nibiru thing, I probably studied that a couple of years. probably 5 or 6 years, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, I don't know. 2000, and then in 2006, 2007, that's when I started studying the tetrads, the blood red moons and the eclipses coming in 14 and 15. And I studied that a long time till I knew I had it, but that's been 7 years now, so and I got to kind of review it. But all of that, know the sequence, but also again, when you know what we're looking for, know this. Some of them aren't going as we thought that they would. Okay? They're out of sequence. They're out of order. So you gotta look at it with common sense. Common sense. Okay? That's all I'm saying. This Passover is a big Passover. It's big. Biblically big, you know? And again, the days of coming years, you know, like into 2017, like I said, that September 2017, I'll try to get that. I wish I had that in front of me. It's on my other computer. I got it all on there. But it's the matching of the days, the counting of the days, and where those days land on, and, you know, where they start from. And, you know, and again, you have to know your Jewish feast days. You have to know the importance of those, and the importance to God. You have to know those. Study Esther. Study Purim. Study those 4 special Sabbaths around Purim. There's 2 before and there's 2 after. Okay? But study Purim. Study Esther. And then, of course, go, remember, it's patterns. So now we're going to go into Passover. So study the chapters, you know, in Matthew, Mark, and Luke, into the days, you know, going into where, you know, Jesus rides on the donkey to the east gate of Jerusalem. Okay? It's all patterns. Pray for illumination of the word. Pray for divine wisdom, divine knowledge, divine understanding, divine illumination of the word, divine discernment. Pray for that. Pray for it. He'll give it to you. He'll give it to you. He will. It's a big time coming. It really is big time. You know it in your spirit. You know it. You just doubt yourself. Okay, quit doubting. Quit it. Quit. Could you imagine if I doubted myself every day? Could you imagine if I went back and doubted? I mean, I just, I couldn't imagine. And don't think, there's days I'll catch myself and I'll think, well, I gotta stop immediately. I stop immediately because I know where it's coming from. I have to walk in peace. I do. You know, I'm going to do more damage than good if I take those burdens on myself. I give them to him. It's going to be his way anyway. It is. But you know what? Because I trust him so much and I have so much faith in him with everything in my life, my children, my most prized possessions, my children. It's hard sometimes, but it's not. It's harder to do it without him than it is to do it with him. It's easier giving them to him, knowing they're in the best hands possible. They're in much better hands than they would be with me. And I know that. And so I know whatever happens, it's his will and his way. But I know what he's promised me. I know how much he loves me. And I know what my heart's desire is. And I know it's my children. And so whatever has got to be done for my heart's desire, you know, to be fulfilled, he'll do that. In whatever way and route he has to do that. And I know that. I know it. I'm not in charge, he is. And you have to know that. So, that's why, you know, I'm not saying it's easy. But I'm not going to, you got to stand strong. You got to know who's in you. You got to know who's for you. You know, you got to know who opens that door when you knock. You have to know that when you seek, you know, who you'll find. You have to know all those things. And I tell you this, another thing, he's coming to judge your heart. Got to cleanse your heart. If you are still having things happen to you, okay, I bet you say that I'm going to the Lord, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You've got something hidden. You got something so far down deep, you won't bring it up. And you think if you leave it there, It'll be okay, because he knows if I bring it up, it's just too painful for me. But so he'll reach down there and get it. Okay. Thing is, he wants you to reach down there and pull it. Okay. He doesn't want to reach down there and get it. He wants you to reach down there and pull it and give it to him. He don't want to have to take it from you. He wants you to give it to him. He wants you to lay it down at the foot of his cross. He wants you to lay it down at the foot of his throne. So if you think that you've got it tucked away back there and it's okay, that's what's keeping, that's what's causing, it's an open door. It's an open door. I don't care how painful it is. I know there's pain there. I know it. There's stuff that's yuck. It's yuck. It's just yuck. We don't even want to remember it. We don't want to look at it. You got to pull it up. You're waiting for him to reach down and get it. He's waiting for you to release it, to give it. You know, he's not going to take it. He wants you to give it. Big difference. You got to do it. You know, we always think that there's something we can hide, but there's not. He knows it all. So if you keep saying and you think you're where you should be, but there's still something that's holding you back, and you're getting frustrated, it's that. Go there. Give it. Give it. Give it. Give it. It has to be everything out. Everything. I don't mean a couple things left in there that you think, oh, I'll just, no. I'm talking every single nook, every cobweb has to be dusted. Every cobweb has to be dusted. Dust them. Okay? Bring them out. Lay them down. What a difference. You know what? It's hard to face. It's hard to face them. Hard to face them. You know what it is? It's we don't want to remember. We don't remember. We don't. Times in our life, things in our life, events, episodes, people, whatever it is. There's things we just don't want to remember. We got them so far down those crevices. Got tons of spider webs on them. Tons. You know, but you got to let them go. You're waiting for him. That's what you're doing. You're waiting for him to reach down and grab him. He's not going to. He wants you. He wants you to pull him, and he wants you to give him. That's what he's waiting for. Give him. Give him. Okay, let him go. Watch. Watch the difference. Watch the difference. Okay, keep your armor on every day. Every day. And, you know, we're all in this together, okay? We're all in this together. Hope it helped. Love you. See you soon.